Hey guys, EFG Hulk here. So I'm about to go see Batman v Superman with Space Hero 5 and Darth Vigorous. Unfortunately, Darth Vigorous is gonna meet us at the theater, but that's fine. I don't think we're most likely gonna end up doing what we did before when we reviewed Avengers: Age of Ultron. So this is the preview, and then we'll pick it up when we get there. I just gotta wait for Gil to get here, but when he gets here, I'll let you guys know. So check back with you in a minute. All right, Gil just got here, so we're about to get ready now. I gotta get my socks and shoes on. I forgot to do that. But yeah, so I've heard a couple things about this movie. I already know a bit. Uh, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, like I said, Cooper's gonna meet us at the theater, so it's gonna be like, yeah. But anyways, he's here now.
Hi.
Yeah. So yeah, like last time, we're gonna do a preview of the movie and let you guys know what we think of it afterward.
It feels like we haven't done this in a year.
Yeah, I know we haven't. We haven't done this. We haven't done this since 2014.
No, we haven't done this since Ultron.
That was
last year.
Yeah, okay.
Editing.
Anyway, you know what? I'll pick this up when we're about to leave. So all right. Anyways, so we're making our way there now. It's been a while since all three of us went to see a movie.
Yeah, we haven't done this since Ultron.
Yeah. I haven't been to the theaters actually myself since I don't know. Like I think the last movie I saw was we saw Ant-Man. Yeah.
There's your buddy.
Where?
There's your buddy.
Oh. All right. So meeting up with you know who now. He doesn't know I'm here yet. All right. Hey. What's up? I can't. I mean, I obviously. Wait, what? Oh, for my birthday?
Yeah, you forgot it was your birthday?
It's not my birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that became for your birthday.
Well,
Your birthday.
it's not yet. It's close. Like my birthday's officially on Monday. Remember, it's 28th. Yeah, all three of us finally here about to see the Batman v Superman.
Or whatever happens.
Yeah. After this, I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens. But yeah.
We'll find out soon.
So, see you guys when we're in the theater. Okay, so we're here now. We're just waiting for the previews to end. But yeah, so.
Well, technically, we're not even in the previews yet.
You guys don't sleep in the film and everything, right?
I'm just gonna let them know. Yeah, we'll pick you up later when we're done with the movie. So, see you guys later. Alright, we're back. Cooper ditched us, by the way.
Yeah.
Right as we got out.
Right as we got out, it's like not even a goodbye, but he did wave when he passed.
I guess like Batman, he just disappeared. But it wasn't even nighttime; it was the day. So
he was able to disappear in the daylight. How does that happen?
he didn't even say goodbye or anything. So we
No.
didn't. I mean,
We never got to hear his thoughts on the movie.
Well, he said I asked him what he thought of it. He thought it was good.
Okay.
So no elaboration, but I have an elaboration,
And I do.
so does he. So
Just like last time we did this.
So let's start with what should we start with?
Let's start with the good things.
Okay.
Okay. Like, I know people have complained about Ben Affleck being Batman before. Like, this was announced like years before this movie even had a trailer. But
the reason why they were complaining is because originally he played Daredevil back in the day, and people didn't like that movie.
Yeah.
Or Ben Affleck in that movie.
People just don't like Ben Affleck.
So, yeah, I mean, there's
But
the whole running gag.
I don't think he did too bad here as Batman.
I thought he did good.
I thought he did good.
I mean, there were some questionable things that happened, but again, like you kind of have to look at it as a whole before you really, judge it on one single moment.
Yeah, you have to judge it objectively then subjectively.
Yeah. So I'll give Ben Affleck the benefit of the doubt that he was. Sorry, this is something in this movie got my thoughts all crossed. I'll get into that later.
We're gonna get to that when we get to the negatives, but
But yeah. Anyways, Ben Affleck I think he did good.
Yeah, the voice thing was
Okay, compared to Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Yeah. No offense to Christian Bale, but like,
That was like Donald Duck.
yeah, like Ben Affleck did. I think like it made sense. It made sense with what he did with his voice in the movie.
Yeah, like they explained it.
Yeah. So I like that they do that. That they explain why he
Yeah,
does.
they didn't make it like over the top and goofy.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Ironically, because the suit kind of makes him a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
When Christian Bale's suit looks more, like looks darker and slightly, I don't know, more or less menacing. But the Ben Affleck in this movie still pulled it off, though.
Yeah, he still pulled it off.
He looks. I mean, he made the look of Batman work.
Yeah, he did.
He looks like Batman, which is a plus.
Mhm.
And yeah, he did a good job. I think he did a good job with Bruce Wayne. He portrayed Bruce Wayne, kind of like. At first, he was talking sort of similar to how Tony Stark was in like the in the first Iron Man movie, because he's like, oh hey pretty girl, sorry, it's a force of habit. So I liked how he did that. He uses Bruce Wayne as a mask.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good.
He does it good. And then for Superman, it's the same guy who played him in Man of Steel.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
He does a good job too.
It's funny, 'cause my dad actually knows Henry Cavill. He's met him a couple times, and he told him how he works out and stuff in order to become Superman. Him and Chris Evans both worked out at the same gym, but Chris Evans, there's a little secret for you all. He didn't want to work out as much in order to become Captain America. He was like, oh, working out hurts. I don't like it. But Henry Cavill's like, come on, man, power through it. It's like. So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
That's a little thing,
Sorry, Chris Evans.
Yeah, no offense. Hey, I'm looking forward to Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. But yeah, so Superman, I think he did really good.
Yeah.
As I thought he did good in the last movie as well. Like in terms of his personality and his the way he talked and what it showed how he is as a character, and him reacting how the world is reacting to him. Mm-hmm. At first he doesn't care about what people say of him. He's not going to concern himself with everyone else's opinion.
Yeah, but then it gets the movie starts off with the fight with Zod, but it's showing it through Batman's perspective, basically.
And
it shows all this destruction.
A lot of stuff
happened.
Like when you see it from the perspective of Superman in the last film, it didn't look as bad. But when you see it from a normal person's perspective,
it's like, holy shit.
A lot of people died.
Yeah.
They show a little girl who's like Bruce Wayne runs up to this girl who's about to get crushed, and he saves her, and he's like, okay, we'll find your mother. Where is she? And then
she points up to where the building had buckled.
Yeah, it was destroyed, so she died. A lot of death.
And that led there's a huge part of this that shows people just we hate Superman. He's no good. I remember seeing one of the signs was the Earth belongs to man, humans.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
There's a lot of things, and there's also a lot of religious quotes in this movie, by the way. So
it does get a little bit religious, but it's not in your face about it. So you know.
Yeah. So
that's a major thing about this movie. The theme of this, because the full title is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
And it does go into what is justice. It goes on to it in a maybe not a direct way, but it shows two perspectives that are both right on their own merits.
Yeah, there were a couple things though that when it came to Superman that kind of made me think a little. I was wondering, because there were a lot of moments where it looked like Superman was about to turn, and one moment is early, actually really early in the movie, where it takes place in the desert. You see, I don't know how many of you've seen the trailers, but basically, in the trailers, there's a scene in the desert. Superman saves Lois there, but at first I was thinking, wait, is he about to, because there's a guy who's holding her at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And she's and Superman just punches the guy through the wall. He jumps right at the guy and goes through the wall. I was wondering, wait, did he kill him?
What was up with that?
Yeah, because in the last movie, it seemed to make it a big deal that Superman doesn't want to kill. After he killed Zod, basically after he killed Zod, he made a staple that he would never kill ever again. You know,
Because like just the enormity of it all, just the enormity of like I just ended somebody's life.
and it's not just that, but just the weight of it all, because he killed the last living member of his own race.
Well, the only other last living member.
Yeah, and like now all he has left is Earth,
Yeah.
so he has to protect what little he has left, and his own planet kind of is split whether they want him or they don't.
Yeah, and there's a lot of arguments for either.
Yeah,
That again they're
and
it
basically,
doesn't like for this it doesn't really say like which side is right or wrong. It's basically treating this like a big political philosophical thing, but in a subtle way that doesn't make you feel like you're in a college class. It shows
yeah,
what people are thinking.
and like also the thing is that basically the point of this movie is like, what if a guy had superpowers in the real world? How would that work? How would someone be able to react to that?
like,
You know,
what would we say about it?
what if we had a real Superman in on Earth in real life?
And I think they do portray that
They do
pretty
that
realistically.
Yeah, they do portray that pretty realistically. I thought it was handled well.
Yeah.
Now there are some other stuff that I'll get into later that has to do with other characters that made appearances that people were speculating for a while. Even I was kind of thinking, are they doing this like now? So we'll get into that after we get to the next thing, which I guess would be like we talked about Batman and Superman.
Lex Luthor?
I guess so, yeah. So let's talk about Lex in this movie. So, okay, a lot of rumors were going around that Jesse Eisenberg was playing Lex Luthor's son, and a lot of people were saying that that's false. Well, okay, it's not false. There is another Lex Luthor. We don't see him in the movie, but he basically Lex Luthor has a son named Lex Luthor, and that Luthor is Jesse Eisenberg. So there's two Luthors
Basically.
basically.
Senior and junior.
I guess people, because they didn't want to make so many fans mad, because like everyone was thinking Lex Luthor, he's a businessman, he's a tough, he's a full grown adult.
Yeah, and to be honest, like before you explained that, like I was thinking, like, man, they really made Lex Luthor seem kind of childish.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it made him seem like
Basically,
it made him seem like up to late '89.
No, actually, he kind of reminds me of McJuggernuggets, but if McJuggernuggets was a megalomaniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't entirely like his performance as Lex. I mean, I don't hate it for what it is. It almost actually no, it reminds me a bit of Heath Ledger's Joker. A little bit.
A little bit.
Because the way he talks kind of like how Heath Ledger talked in Batman: The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And he had the same sort of movements too. And there's even a scene when he's on a rooftop and he's wearing the long suit that's flowing in the wind. Oh. Well, okay, so we're about to run out of time. So
that was just increasing the temperature.
Oh, okay. But yeah, anyways, so he looks like he's kind of, showing like that. You see kind of like the Joker a little like when from back in the day. So, I mean, that's what I got. That's what I got from it. So, I kind of would have liked to see the more traditional, businessman Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I think that would have been a bit better.
Especially when it came to when they were getting to political aspects of Superman, I'm sorry about that, guys.
Editing.
But anyways, I like it would have been great if they did that, because in the sense where Superman gets political, Lex Luthor has some of the best moments in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics and in the animated films, he's had some of the best moments when it came to political superheroes. So
Yeah.
I think if they've gone with that approach, would have been more
rather than just it seemed like it was just some awkward teenager doing it.
Yeah, and they get used to that awkward teenager, because that gets thrown around a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
The way
let's just hope that what you're saying is true, that it's his son and not the actual Lex.
Because he mentions his father a lot. He says his father's name is Lex. So there's two Lex Luthors.
He does mention his father a few times, so we can only hope.
So he's Lex Luthor Jr.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just realized Luthor Jr. Like oh wow, that's just messed up right there.
Okay. Well, Oh, a little bit of a major spoiler. Wonder Woman's in this movie.
Then again, if you've seen the trailers, you already know that. She appears a lot in that.
Yeah.
In fact, they kind of announced that, yeah, Wonder Woman's in this movie, Flash is in this movie, Aquaman's in the movie, and Cyborg's in this movie. Which I was kind of, a little bit skeptical from the do effort, because Cyborg sort of, he didn't really start out as that big a character, in the Justice League level.
Didn't he start out Teen Titans?
Yeah, he did. He started as a Titan.
Yeah.
There
is one more character that's introduced, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we'll get into that later.
But, yeah, I guess we could talk about the action in the movie. Really good.
Really good action. Very.
I will give it. There are moments, when the fight between Superman and Batman, because we're going to talk about that inevitably anyway.
Yeah.
So let's just get through it now.
Let's just get to it now.
So the fight between Batman and Superman, there's two fights. Well, one full fight and one short, conflict. The first one is when Batman's trying to track down Kryptonite, because Lex Luthor orders Kryptonite, which was found in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, he was using that to try to make some sort of weapons thing
because they discovered that Kryptonite can harm Kryptonians. It degenerates them.
Yeah, they were able to do. They found that out by experimenting on General Zod's body.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. So he orders a huge thing of it, but then through a chain of events, Batman ends up stealing it.
Yeah, and then he forms a spear out of it.
He was really going to use it to kill Superman.
Yeah, and so we get to the official fight when Batman he has his armor. Now, here's something they didn't really explain was his armor.
They showed Alfred was helping to build it in the beginning.
Yeah, they showed he was building. Well, he was using some sort of alloy, but I don't think he was, because then people were speculating that he was using Kryptonian tech to make the armor, which would make sense if he's gonna fight Superman with it. Because I don't think there's any metal on Earth that could really hurt him.
Mm.
It'd have to come from Krypton or something, really dense. So,
But then again, no, never mind. That's irrelevant.
Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, there's that. But and then the final fight between Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Doomsday.
The three of them against Doomsday, which is one character I was talking about.
Yeah, I just spoiled it right now.
Well, maybe we can go into negatives now.
Yeah, let's go into negatives. So,
and that is I'm not gonna lie. When that happened, first of all, there's this thing that happens where Lex Luthor Jr. Let's just call him Junior.
Yeah.
And Lex Jr. What happens is that he stumbles across the wreckage of the ship that was in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And he accesses a bunch of stuff and he manages to find out about Doomsday, and so he gets General Zod's body and he mixes it with his blood, and then it turns into Doomsday at the very end.
And again, Lex was throwing around a lot of religious quotes towards Superman, because Superman well, here's
people are saying he's like a god.
Yeah.
Because of what he could do.
Yeah.
But there's there's a whole bunch of
yeah.
A bunch of there is no such thing as power that is all good. If something is all powerful, it can't be all good. And if something is all good, it can't be all powerful. That's also a huge thing that's very political.
But then we get to the part that just makes me I
heard and I saw when it happened, it's this is your Doomsday, and I heard him just
here's what he says meet your Doomsday, and I just facepalm so many times. It's I was no, why?
It's funny before we even entered the auditorium, he was man, if they introduce Doomsday into this, I'm gonna be so mad because they're gonna make it a one-off thing, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was okay, that's what really pissed me off. Doomsday is a character that basically is meant to be Superman's end, or at least something that could, really that comes back. You can't destroy him. You can kill him, but he will always come back, and you can't kill him the same way twice. I'll continue.
Yeah, we'll continue.
But yeah, so they fucked up Doomsday.
They did. They didn't even make him look right.
When he first appears, basically, actually, there was a moment I thought Doomsday was about to kill Lex Luthor, because he gets out of the pod, and Lex is just staring at him in the face. I'm dude, are you supposed to be? First of all, Lex Luthor, you're supposed to be the smartest man on Earth, and you're staring this giant monstrosity in the face. You know you're about to die, right? The thing's not mentally connected to you. Yeah, Doomsday's about to punch Lex. I thought he was gonna grab him and then crush him or something. but
Yeah.
PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13.
There is a rated R version though that's gonna be out on DVD.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so he's about to punch him, and then Superman stops him, and they fight all over the place. But here's a moment that got me thinking a little bit. Like, so they get out of there, and they get to the monument of Superman, and Doomsday looks at it and looks like Superman. He looks at him and is like. So I think that was I think for a moment there Zod was still alive. He was like looking at that. I think that was Zod's personality.
Yeah, because that was foreign from Zod.
Yeah, so Zod was looking at the statue, and I could tell he was thinking like, so they built a monument of you instead of me.
God damn it, I'm pissed now.
Yeah, so they're fighting. Like, he doesn't talk in the movie, by the
No.
way.
No.
I mean, he didn't talk in the original story either. So but still, like, they do a lot of stuff.
Of stuff.
Okay, first of all, his powers, Doomsday's powers. Here's what they say. So when it basically Doomsday is basically the product of a deformed Kryptonian. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what that means is that when a Kryptonian is deformed or I guess sick or something,
Something like that. Some sort of weird mutation.
they basically become the Hulk or I guess the Abomination. Because look at he looks like the Abomination.
He does.
At first, he looks like the troll from Lord of the Rings. I'm not even kidding. He looks exactly
does,
like
yeah.
that. He got the face, he has the body. He looks just like the troll from Lord of the Rings. That
does not look right at
No.
all.
No.
They really should have left it when like Batman saved his mom and stuff. That would have been fine.
We're talking about Superman's mom, not Batman. Because
I'm stupid.
yeah.
You're right. I keep mixing them up.
Because what happens
They
is
both end in man.
yeah. What happens is that the reason Batman fights Superman, like the reason you see them fighting in the trailer and stuff, Lex Luthor kidnaps Superman's mom,
Yeah.
Martha, and holds her hostage.
And
It says that
and it just so happens that Batman's mom was also named Martha.
yeah, which I don't
And
know.
that was what Superman used to get through to him like before he was about to like
Yeah, he's
you know,
about.
do
Yeah,
that.
that's the only way. That's the only way they were able to settle their differences. That
yeah.
I guess both their moms have the same name. How quaint.
Oh, quaint.
But yeah, anyways, so they again like
They really should have left it there, but then again they wouldn't introduce the Justice League like that.
yeah.
Well, maybe they could have still done that.
I don't know, but anyways, Doomsday is basically they show him like they're fighting. Superman takes him into space, very reminiscent to like the original Death of Superman, where Superman pushes Doomsday into space and they're about to crash down on Earth together. But what happens is that the fucking military.
They always like, you know what? Every single time the military is in a movie and it involves stuff like this, they always go, "Oh, let's just nuke it. It should be fine."
Yeah. So what happens is that they
Yeah.
they decide to nuke Superman and Doomsday, but it's like.
It just made it worse.
Yeah, Superman and Doomsday both survive. Superman's kind of is injured, but Doomsday's just pissed off and he literally goes, hulks out. Like he literally they
Critical
show
mass.
it, like critical mass. Like, he's like electricity's coming out of him and lasers shooting all over the place.
And something a huge like thing is like
Fire and brimstone.
subtle.
But yeah. Anyways, like that's going on, and like I just can't get over this. Like. First of all, they introduced him way too early on in Superman's
Yeah.
career.
And they do exactly what you said they would do. They would
Yeah.
just make him a one-off character.
What happens-
It
okay.
seems like it.
Here's what happens. So I'll just skip to the end. Basically, Batman, like Wonder Woman shows up because Doomsday's about to kill Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He fires lasers at Batman, and Batman's dodging some of his attacks. But then eventually he has to stop, and then Doomsday is about to shoot him. And then Wonder Woman, she comes out of nowhere and just like.
I mean, it's not like
Well,
well,
okay,
they do build her up.
They do build her up a little in this movie. They do.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not like a Deus Ex.
Nah, but still though, I mean, there are like, how did she happen to know exactly where they were gonna be? Because they weren't being filmed at that moment. So
Plot hole.
yeah, plot hole.
Plot hole.
But anyways, so she comes in, helps Batman out. She's fighting Doomsday. She talks in this movie, by the way. She's not mute. Some people thought she was gonna be mute in this movie. No, she talks.
Thank God.
She has some important lines. She talks about how she's killed monsters like Doomsday before, monsters from other worlds.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, there's a scene I'll bring up later, but basically, what happens is that near the end, Lois Lane finds the spear that Batman made to kill Superman. Instead, she gets it. Superman gets it, and he uses it to kill Doomsday.
But in the process, Doomsday ends up like
Because Wonder Woman cuts Doomsday's hand off, and Doomsday starts forming like a spear hand from his bone protrusions.
It's like maybe that's the closest they could get to making him look like Doomsday.
Like they barely did. They barely even did like
they barely even did all the spiky things.
Yeah, they literally just kind of they did shortcuts. They took shortcuts. You know, and hell, Doomsday looked kind of weird. Like I'm not talking about his appearance, but like the animation on him looked a little bit weird. Like not like with the Hulk. You can tell that, you know, like with the Hulk, it looks almost real. Like it looks good, you know. But with Doomsday, it looks, I don't know, it looks way too rubbery, you know. I'm back. So, sorry about that. Gil left, so I have to finish this off myself. So, anyways, so I was talking about Doomsday. All right, Doomsday, they fucked him up. All right, they fucked up Doomsday. They messed him up. Like, I didn't like that, but you know, they have to have someone to fight. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe someone like, I don't know, Bizarro would have been nice. Hell, Brainiac at least. Something, but no. You know, just go on Doomsday. Friggin' Doomsday. Whatever. Oh, now I remember. We were talking about them getting nuked. Okay, so they get nuked in space, right? Superman and Doomsday. Superman's like kind of floating in space after that, and Doomsday falls right down to Earth, and they find out that the nuke only made him stronger. What happens is that his bones start, like, first of all, his skin starts peeling off a little bit, so he, like the bug from Men in Black, it's like does that, and this bone protrusion starts coming out, starts popping out, like he starts doing that and everything, and then like electricity starts, you know, pulsing out of him, and just like a big nuclear blast, freaking like Hulk Ultimate Destruction. No, I'm not even kidding. It's exactly like that. So yeah, I don't know what to make of this, but you know what? I gotta get through it. So, anyways, that happens, and then what happens to Superman though? He's like floating in space, but for some reason, if you look at him in space, he looks exactly like Bizarro. Like his face looks sort of zombified, like Bizarro's face, and he's kind of grayish. And then the sun comes out and it heals him, right? Or I think I already talked about that. Oh, well, okay. Well, that happens. He comes back down to Earth. Wonder Woman cuts off Wonder Woman fights Doomsday, and I think I already went through this. I have to go back and watch because the camera, you know, cut off at some point, so I'd have to rewatch it, but oh well. I was getting to the part where Wonder Woman cuts Doomsday's hand off. So basically, this, you know, Superman picks up the kryptonite spear that Batman made. You know, after saving Lois from drowning, because she was drowning trying to look for the spear. She gets it, and Superman saves her and gets the spear. Is running after, you know, flying. He's flying after Doomsday. Wonder Woman uses her lasso of truth. Which, okay, they don't even explain her lasso. They don't explain her accessories or any of that. Her weapons. They just show them in the movie. Like, they don't explain that. You know, right? You'd have to be a fan of Wonder Woman to know about that. You know, if you don't know about that, then that's random. So yeah, she gets her lasso and wraps around Doomsday's neck or his torso or something. You know, keeps him in a hold. And then Batman shoots kryptonite dust at Doomsday, which barely does anything. It just keeps him from shooting lasers out of his eyes and mouth. And then Superman flies at him with the spear and impales Doomsday. But like I said earlier, Doomsday grew that spear hand, and then he impales Superman. So they've impaled each other. Then they're looking at each other straight in the eyes. And Superman's just getting closer to Doomsday, and then you see the spear goes right through Superman's cape and everything. So he's impaled. And then Doomsday is impaled completely by the kryptonite spear, so they're both dead pretty much. So they both fall to the ground. Doomsday holding Superman in his hand, and you know, I guess it's symbolic. You know, it's supposed to be symbolic, like God versus Satan or something. It's kind of vague that way, or weird or something. But yeah, so that's what happens. After that, there's this memorial service. First, everyone's looming over Superman, you know, his dead body and everything. Like Wonder Woman, Batman, Lois. They're all around Superman, and they're crying and stuff. It's sad. Last Son of Krypton is dead, which was not. I was really hoping they wouldn't do this. Like either Superman lives and Doomsday is just a phony or something, and he's just a big goofy monster, and they just take down, which already automatically ruins Doomsday for pretty much any potential sequels. Fucked it up. I'm trying to keep my composure. This is literally what bothers me the most is just like is Doomsday. That's what keeps getting to me because I think Doomsday could have been done right if they had just done something else. You know, at least don't have him in this movie. Like have Bizarro. That he was perfectly set up in that sense. You could have had a duplicate Superman. You know, doing all these heinous things, which is why people are thinking that he's evil. You know. Which I guess would have been cliched, the evil double thing, but they wouldn't have done that in the movies yet. So, like, you know, it would have been interesting. We have yet to have gotten a proper, you know, Superman versus Superman, you know, battle. The last one we got was like the Christopher Reeves one in Superman 3. And yeah, we all know how that turned out. But anyways, I guess after that, you know, there's the memorial service for Superman, and everyone apparently his secret identity it's revealed it's Clark Kent. Everyone knows he's Clark Kent. So they didn't even do the Clark Kent secret identity thing. Like they didn't keep his identity secret to the world. Now everyone knows who he is, which didn't matter because all his loved ones were captured anyways and almost killed. So even then, you know, it's kind of pointless to have the secret identity when you know it doesn't even shield you anymore. So yeah. The death of Superman. They did it. They actually did it. They killed Superman like Optimus Prime. And very much like Optimus Prime in Michael Bay's Transformers, or the Bayformers, as everyone likes to call it, he gets killed in a very okay. The difference is that Optimus Prime gets killed and brought back in the same movie. And it's killed prematurely anyways. Superman, however, he sets himself up for sacrifice, so he kind of had to do it, I guess. But still, I mean, like, it could have been, I don't know, it could have been done so much better. I don't know. It's funny, too, because there was a YouTube channel that did this fan film of Superman versus Doomsday, which also had Batman and Wonder Woman in it. It's very similar to this, actually. It was made back in 2010, or like, I think 2009, 10, 11, something like that. And I think, it looked really good. I was like, this guy knows how to do it right, you know? It's like, I guess the same thing happened, I guess, but really, I don't know. But anyways, so usually I have Gil close this out with me, but he's not here, and it's just me now, so I gotta wrap this up. Before the movie ends, Batman talks to Wonder Woman about finding others like them, you know, metahumans. They bring metahumans in this movie, and you see them. You see Aquaman, which I want to bring up something that's kind of funny. This guy, God Convoy Prime, one of the YouTubers that, you know, commented on Gil's channel on one of his videos. It was of the what video was it? It was the oh yeah, this guy. So God Convoy Prime. I don't know if any of you've heard of him. No one's heard of him. So no, his channel, you can find it. I'm not gonna leave it in the description. You know, but you can find it on linked to one of Gil's video. His video is called It's Always Sunny in Grouchland. That's the name of his video of Space Hero 5's video. So his channel's in there, like in the comment section. So you look at that. Basically, the guy, you know, was complaining about Man of Steel, saying that, oh, why wasn't Aquaman in it? He could have like just swam around and, you know, that would have been fine. Like, really, dude, that would have been so pointless. Well, he did it in this movie. Although it wasn't pointless, though. There was a point to it, because, you know, it showed that there were others out there like Wonder Woman and Superman. So, yeah. That was good, I guess. That was good. And they showed the Flash, too, and everything. So we talked about that. So, yeah, they're gonna look for other metahumans in Superman's name. They're gonna form a team, and guess what that is? Exactly, the Justice League. Now there is a scene earlier in the movie that I was gonna mention earlier, but I decided to mention it now. So what happens is that there's a dream sequence. It's actually the third dream sequence. Yeah, it's the third dream sequence. Basically, Batman. Yeah, Batman is talking to the Flash. The Flash appears. I guess he time travels. Barry Allen time travel. It's not the same. But just be safe. This is not the same Flash from the TV show. They couldn't use the same actors for that. So yeah, that was a problem. But anyways, this Flash tells Batman, "You're right about You're right about him. You know, it was Lois. You know, this and that." Like, he's telling him some random stuff. But prior to this, there was the second dream sequence, which took place, I guess, on like this. It was on this planet. It was in Batman's mind, but basically, Batman was on Apokolips. Now, if you guys don't know, Apokolips is this planet ruled by this character called Darkseid, who's basically the DC equivalent of Thanos, and he has this horde of his soldiers called parademons, and these parademons are like these flying demon like soldiers that kind of they're menacing, like, so you see them in the movie, the parademons, and they get on top of Batman, and they restrain him and everything, and then Superman comes in, unmasks Batman, and then he says to him, like, "She was my world, and you took her from me." And then he crushes Batman's abdomen. So that was his dream, though. That was his nightmare. I don't understand how he could have dreamt of Apokolips, of freaking, you know, parademons and stuff, unless it was a vision from the future. It might have been that. I don't know. But the Flash comes in after that, because Bruce Wayne wakes up and he's talking to the Flash, and yeah, that happens. So sort of a little bit random, but it had a point to set up the sequel. But yeah. And the last thing you see in the movie is Lois throws some soil on top of Superman's his casket, I think, coffin, is on top of the coffin, and she walks away. But then as the camera pans down, the coffin starts to kind of like not move, but like you see the dirt start to fly up, like flies off the coffin. It's moving. So then the screen was black, and that's the end. That's the end of the movie. So yeah, it was good, but there were some things I didn't like. Doomsday, I fucking hated in this movie. Lex Luthor, I was split about, because honestly, a younger Lex Luthor, I don't know if that would have, like, that didn't really translate well. I think they could have if they had just gone with the traditional business suit, more like more adult version of Lex Luthor, that would have been more fitting, especially if they're going political about Superman and who he is and what he does, and like that. That's where Lex Luthor would have come in, and that would have been so much better. There was actually a version of this movie done by Bandit Incorporated, where he talks about how Batman v Superman should go, and I think his version was much better than the movie, because his version had Bizarro in it. It had adult Lex Luthor in it, so it already fixed all the problems I have with this movie, and yeah, and there was some good fighting in his version of it. This movie had good fighting too, though. But like, I didn't like, because Kryptonite, they use that, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna abuse Kryptonite. They're gonna abuse it, and of course they abuse it. Like, Kryptonite dust is enough to put Superman to his knees, and of course the Kryptonite spear is enough to kill him, or at least or almost kill him. And yet somehow he's able to get back up the second the thing gets thrown away from him, just like in the comics, right? Or just like in the other movies. Except his recovery time is extremely fast. Even when he's not in direct sunlight, too, mind you. But yeah. So that was Batman v Superman. I thought it was okay. I would have preferred if they had not gone with Doomsday and gone with an older Lex Luthor and maybe Bizarro and or Brainiac or something like that. That would have worked. They could have gone with that. I would have been much happier with everything else if that was the case. But yeah, they didn't. So yeah. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this review of Batman v Superman. I will be recording Sonic 06 probably tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day. As always, Hulk out.